Thank you so much for joining me here at Mayhem Festival. How are you? How are you enjoying it?
We're having a blast. We're having a blast. I mean, this place is really crazy, but so far so good. We're more than halfway through the tour. Great response. I'm glad I did it.
Can we talk about this brilliant album, Manslaughter? I'm in love with it.
I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are because it's one of those things that a lot of people might not have been, might have, Ice-T and them doing another record. But I feel that, everybody who's actually given it a chance has come out of it going, whoa, I didn't expect that.
I feel like you're saying something, and
Yeah.
that's so important. That's what we're missing. Like so much of top 40 and all this. It's just there's no message behind it.
One dude told me that he said, Ice, the record, you sound like my father. And he says, you're telling me not to do this. You're telling me about drugs. You're telling me this. You're telling me that. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's medicine, but it doesn't look like medicine. And that's always been, if you really track the movement of my music, it's always had to be about something. On this album, there's two songs that have no fucking meaning. One is 99 Problems, which is just a flashback, and uh, uh, Black Voodoo Sex, which just is an adventure of me having sex with some wild voodoo chick, which we wanted to connect to the first
You
album.
gotta have some fun with it. Too.
Right. But every other record is really either me telling you about something or paying homage to something. You know, I guess that's just the way I write music. I've already came up with some ideas for the new album already, and I get these ideas like somebody will say something, and I'm like, that's a great song, and then I build around it. But like Chuck D says, I don't rhyme for the sake of riddling. It's got to be something there.
Do you feel like some people misunderstand like the tongue in cheek behind some of the
Absolutely,
stuff?
absolutely. I mean, I gave Body Count the name Grindhouse, which is basically like the Grindhouse movies, where the guy goes in his trunk and he doesn't pull out a gun, he pulls out like a missile launcher. Body Count is way over the top. It's hypersexual. It's hyper violent to the point where you can't take it seriously. Like if you go back to the first album, Smoke Pork, where I walk up on the cops eating donuts and shoot them, it's like, who are you? Or aren't you? It's goofy. It means something, but it's not to be taken absolutely serious. Um, it's confusing.
Do you find people do that? That you know, what I mean, where they're like, wait, you're really talking about that, or you're
Well,
going
dummies
there?
do. Dummies do. Dummies do. I don't think a real Ice-T fan does because they know me for a long time and they'll be like, he's bullshitting right now. You know, you know, I can't, but there's no way you can, you just got to know. You just got to take the time out to try to, if you're just going to skim the surface of my music, yeah, it'll scare the shit out of you. You won't like it. You'll read a song, Bitch in the Pit, and you'll think it's about a girl I got in the back basement in a hole. I'm feeding her, you know, I'm throwing bones down to her. Some bitch in the pit. He's talking about torturing some woman. You know, you got to read into it. And then if you're not a girl that's out there in the mosh pit, you're not gonna like it either because you're gonna say he called me a bitch. It's for the listeners that enjoy it, and most of the static I've gotten is from people that aren't even fans.
So I know you guys have the upcoming barbecue coming up. What are you looking forward to with that?
Well, I've always been a fan of Gore, just for the fact, just the theatrics and madness. I couldn't tell you one Gore song. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't quote any lyrics, but I've got Gore videos
Yeah.
of them just wilding, just blood all over the place and stuff. It's more of a show to me. And the fact that they asked us to come down to the barbecue, it was an honor and a privilege. So we're going to be there and represent, for the lost member. And, you know, it's just another good chance to go and have a good fun party. I know it's going to be crazy.
It is absolutely. So I've been asking a lot of artists what mayhem means to them. Like we're out here at Mayhem Festival.
To me, it's just I've been playing the festival thing for a while. Like it started in Europe. What broke Body Count really was Lollapalooza. So when you do your own show, you're only gonna have your own fans. Like if I do a Body Count headlining tour, well, I'm gonna bring in my fans, but I'm not gonna bring in any new fans. When you're out here, you're getting in front of Upon a Burning Body, or you're getting in front of Suicide Silence's crowd. You're getting a few people from Cannibal. getting all these different groups as fans that might go, whoa, I didn't even know I liked Ice-T, but I do. And that's how you build a fan base. You know, you with this metal shit, you can't really hope to do it with radio. It's not like you're gonna get enough spins on radio that you're gonna catch new people's ears. This is the best way.
Absolutely.
The best way.
Have you seen social media numbers fluctuate and stuff?
Now, I don't really look at social media as any type of reference to reality. I mean, to me, like Twitter, all that, this is a chat room where people are just throwing in their ideas at any given time. You know, our video is going up. Our video is getting close to 1 million views. Um, you know, but it always ends up in record sales. I think at the end of the day, though, we're living in a new generation where people don't buy records, and that sucks.
It really
You
does.
know, what happens is your free fan base will kill you because you have all these people that love you. You're giving them free shit. They love you. They love you. You got 1 million people. Then as soon as you ask them for $1, they act like you turned on them. They're like, what? What? You want me to pay? I hate you. So it's weird. And, you know, people look at me, well, like, Ice, you got money. I got 5 men in my band. They ain't on television. So they need some record sales. You know, they got families. You know, we're not kids. So people want to sell records. And, you know, it's really, really hard out here. And you have to tour and you have to gig and you have to sell T-shirts unless you happen to become a pop star and cross into that other thing where the radio's spinning you every day.
Absolutely. I do feel like that's a huge challenge for artists now.
Well, it's harder. And think about us, Body Count, we got a decent fan base. I'm thinking about some of these other bands who are just crawling, you know, riding out here in minivans going from city to city. It's rough to get, you know, and you know, you bust your ass, you spend a year making an album and you sell 5,000 copies. That's 5,000 people is a lot of people, but you can't live off of that. You know, I used to, I mean, with Ice-T, man, I used to sell 500,000 records in 3 weeks. Like, you know, people bought records, but now game has changed. And
I miss that,
it's
though. I
changed
really
across
do.
the board. It's changed across the board. And now with iTunes, you don't even got to, people like Talk Shit Get Shot, they just buy the single for 10 cents. It's crazy.
It really is.
Well, 10 cents is what we get. They get it for 99 cents.
Still, it does make me sad. It really does.
Yeah, well, it's harder. It's harder right now to be, you know, a successful band and really make ends meet. You know, you have to really make it to the top of the food chain, and that's difficult. And there's thousands and thousands of bands. I mean, if you look at the Warped Tour, man, there's like 100 bands. You know, so it's really a trick.
Very true. So, what are the plans for after Mayhem? I know you mentioned having some stuff for another album.
Well, we're gonna do 2 videos to hold me while I'm doing my J job. I work from September all the way to next June. We'll probably do spot gigs. You know, I can perform anywhere in this country on a Saturday, so we'll gig on different weekends and shit, and try to start a new album, and hopefully we'll probably tour Europe next summer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna thank you so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Well, I think the main thing with Body Count was this year to come out and see, is there a demand? Like, if we put a good record out, will the people appreciate it or will they turn on it and say, you guys are done, we don't want to fuck with you? Well, obviously the people are like, yeah, more.
Seriously.
So we're gonna supply that demand. You're gonna give them what they want. But if I had came out here and everybody booed us and walked off, I'll be like, okay, guy, at least I got another job. And I'd bow out gracefully, you dig? But nah, man, we're turned up and we're ready to go. So, you know, get ready for the next album.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool, thank you.